Hello, I'm Rick Jensen from irTactical Systems.
And I'm Chris Jekyll. I'm a sergeant with the New Berlin Police Department.
Today we're going to be talking about the irTactical training system and the benefits that it will provide your law enforcement agency. irTactical is a projectileless, force-on-force training system that you can use in any training environment.
You know, Rick, that's the thing. In law enforcement, we're always looking for something that allows us to train as close to reality as we possibly can. There's a lot of different training systems on the market today that require extensive setup time, that require a lot of safety equipment for us to get as close to reality as we can. But your system and the components of your system allow us to use our equipment in as close to a real environment as we can.
Well, that's what we were going for when we designed our system. Realism is key. So we broke it down into three main components. We have our IR M4 rifle, we have our patented Smart Mag, and we have our IR vest. Everything here is as realistic as you can possibly get.
And that, I think, is going to be the biggest benefit, Rick, because when we use this type of a system now, we're going to be able to get the most out of our training that we can, because we're going to develop proper muscle memory, we're going to have a proper mount with the weapon, we're going to use proper tactics going through doors, because this equipment allows us to train as close as we do in real life.
The main component of the irTactical system is the IR M4 rifle. And this was based off of the AR-15, the M4 rifle that's used by police and military throughout the world.
It makes sense, Rick, that you guys would use the M4 system. This is a very common weapon system that law enforcement and the military use, but it's a durable, reliable system. And just from looking at your M4 here, I can see that this is also a modular system, which is really nice for us because it gives us the ability to hang the furniture that we hang off of an M4 onto your training rifle, again, to make the training environment just that much more realistic.
All right, let's take a look at it. Now, right off the bat, you can feel it feels like the weapon that you're used to using every single day.
Right, it's balanced, this feels like a real M4.
And you had mentioned before, the buttstock, the carry handle, and the foregrip. These are all based off of real weapons, and you can interchange these with the individual accessories that you might want to use. Now, let's talk a little bit about durability. That's where we get our weight from. The body is made out of injected aluminum. The individual pieces are made out of glass-filled nylon. And now what this does is this makes this very durable, because we know that in your job, this is a training tool that's going to get bounced around a little bit, and it's going to have to be very durable.
Right, yeah, we're pretty hard on equipment, but this feels like it's going to last. This feels very strong, very durable.
Well, it's not only the feel, but you also have the function. So when you use the IR-M4, you have a charge handle, you have a selector switch, and you even have a mag eject button on the other side. So everything is, we're trying to get as realistic as possible so that your training is real.
Right.
The next component is our patented Smart Mag. Now, this is really the heart and soul of the entire system. This is what keeps track of how many rounds you're actually going to shoot. Load's very easy. You open up the lever, you take a 12-gram CO2 that you would get at Walmart or Kmart or any of the big stores. You insert it in, and you close the lever, and you're ready to go. Let's put it in there.
Inserts like a real magazine does. Charge it like a real M4 and it's ready to go.
Well, the neat thing about it too is that in the magazine there's a radio, so it talks back and forth to the gun.
Okay.
So it's a 30-round magazine, but if you were to fire it 10 times, you could eject it out and you can hand it over to your partner and he'd be able to shoot it 20 more times.
Okay.
Why don't you go ahead and fire it?
Goes to full auto.
Go ahead and inject it out. So now it's got enough air that you can put it right back in and you can keep going. You notice it stopped. So what happened at that point? Basically, you ran out of ammunition. The gun knows that you fired 30 times, and the Spartan Mag knows that too. So they're going to talk back and forth and basically say, okay, now you're going to stop firing. So how do we fire again? Well, you need to take your magazine, you either put in another magazine, or you need to reload this. So what's going to happen is I'm going to pull back the lever. It's going to release all the air through the two side vents. Now, it's a little freaky the first time you do it, but it releases all the air in just a couple seconds. You can easily take this out, put in another CO2, and now you're ready to go again.
Okay.
The last component is the IR vest, which you're going to notice right off the bat, it's made out of military-grade material. It has MOLLE attachments for all of your accessories.
That's nice.
And it has 10 individual sensors. There's 6 on the front and 4 on the back, and also 2 audible sensors on top that are going to let you know that when you get hit. Now, one of the nice things is that if you were to get hit in the lower abdomen, or if you were going to hit in the upper right shoulder, it's going to know the difference. So it's not just saying that you got hit, it can actually say where you got hit.
That's a nice feature, Rick, because that's going to keep you accountable not only for how many rounds you fire, but the accuracy of the rounds you're firing. That's really going to enhance the training environment.
Now, on the back, the system is very easy to use. There's a pouch in the back that has a box in it. That box has 5 buttons, so that's it. It's very, very simple to use. And that's going to allow you to do a lot of different things. It's going to give you 3 training modes right off the bat. It's going to allow you to talk to a computer up to a mile away wirelessly. And it's going to allow you to sync up to 3 different guns.
What do you mean when you say sync a gun, Rick?
Well, that's an important feature in this. So what happens is that you can take your gun and you can synchronize it to your vest. Now, what does that mean? That means that your vest now owns that gun. So when you're firing all the information back and forth, every single time that you fire, how many rounds, what your accuracy was, that's going back to this vest for recording. And also, when you are going to get hit by somebody else, the vest is going to light up and let you know that you got hit. It's also going to turn your gun off.
Okay.
So when you're training out there, you get hit, your gun turns off. The vest for 30 seconds is going to stay off, and after 30 seconds, it'll put you back into the training mode, and then you're hot and you're good to go. There's 5 primary benefits that we can provide to police and military. They're realism, durability, and the ability to train cheaper, faster, and anywhere. Obviously, realism was a key point of what we were trying to do.
I can see that just from holding the irTactical M4 here. It feels like a real M4. But the thing that I really like when I look at this, Rick, is the way this is designed. This allows me to train the way the equipment was intended to be used. With a lot of the projectile-based systems, we have to wear safety equipment to protect our eyes, protect our face, protect our throat. And it creates training scars because I can't mount the weapon properly. With your system, I can mount the weapon properly, I can use the sights properly, I can have a proper cheek weld, I don't develop any training scars, and I can use the equipment the way it was intended to be used. I look at the same thing with the irTactical vest. Being a Molly vest, I can attach equipment in the same place, the same way that I use my real equipment, so everything is covered and the realism stays the same throughout the entire training system.
And our next main benefit is durability. Now, we've talked about this already. We've gone out of our way to make sure that we constructed all of the different products with very high-grade materials.
I can see that the feel, the fit and finish of the M4, there's no rattling. All the components work just like the real M4 does, but they're rock solid. I've noticed with the magazine too, Rick, this magazine feels really solid. The way we generally use the M4 for real, when it's empty and we need to reload, we just dump the magazine straight onto the ground. And I can do that, and there's no problem with the equipment here because this is so firm, it doesn't have any equipment issues, and it's very durable. I can see looking at the vest that's made out of real military grade nylon, so that is going to be durable, and we don't have to worry about our Molly equipment tearing off of it while we're using it.
Our next 2 features are the ability to train cheaper and train faster. Now, after the initial cost of the system, the additional costs are nothing more than just buying CO2, which you can get at almost any big box store. As far as faster, your setup time is much faster. Now, you're still going to have your safety checks that you're going to do, but obviously, all you need to do is put on the vest, get the gun ready, prepare the magazine, and you're ready to go.
I can see that, Rick. That's going to help us out a lot because budgets are getting really tight these days, and the ability to get the equipment and use it constantly so that we get the volume of training we need to learn the skills, not have to worry about paying overtime costs for officers because they're training too long. This is going to help us out. It's going to let us train more, which is a huge benefit.
And the last benefit, and probably the most important, is the ability to train anywhere. We created the most realistic training equipment we could so that you can use it in any training environment.
Rick, I can see that with this system, that's probably going to be one of the best benefits that it provides to us because with a lot of the projectile-based systems, we have to worry about setting up a safety zone. We have to worry about damage to the facility. We have to worry about cleanup to the facility. Since irTactical is a projectile-less system, it alleviates all of those concerns. I can use any available building anywhere to set up a training situation so I can train officers more often. I can ingrain the skills that they're going to need to stay safer on the street.
So in summary, the irTactical system is one of the most realistic training systems out there. It allows you to train cheaper, faster, and most importantly, anywhere.
I'm excited with this system, Rick, because I think this is going to allow us to train just about anywhere that we can train, and this is going to allow us to do a lot more work to develop the skills that we need to stay safer on the street. This is a really good system.